Hey y'all, how you doing today? Getting my steps in, taking my walk, taking those few steps with educators today. I often am in classrooms where there's a lot of multi-language learners and students that are learning English language, which really all students are learning English language, but thinking about, okay, specifically if a student starts off with a language other than English as their first language, trying to find out how do we build those skills. And again, sometimes we call those multi-language learners, or depends on what state you're in. But a lot of teachers ask, hey, what are some things that work for those students? How do we help those students out the best to increase their vocabulary, to increase their skills, to increase their ability to do some of the math, or really whatever topic we're talking about? And today I want to talk about just two specific things that we found work really well in classrooms, both with research and anecdotally. And they're kind of simple twists to do. I'm not going to say it's going to solve every problem you have, but they are some things we can do as we're kind of going through our daily classroom, daily routines. Just real quick little tweaks of things we can do. And specifically, the first one's talking about vocabulary. And a lot of times we talk about we need to help with vocabulary skills and help students to know the language they're supposed to speak about. And I want to build some of those vocabulary skills, but we're not really sure exactly what that looks like. Our teachers are like, hey, how do I teach vocabulary? What's the best way to do that? And I'm not sure if I have the best way to do that, but some things we've seen with vocabulary that tend to work really well is when we really pinpoint maybe 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 specific words, some of the academic language, whether it's a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 word, the words that are specific to the classroom, to the unit, to the lesson we're talking about right now, and put those words right up front and center of the classroom instruction, whether there's a TV in our room or whether we're using a board or a projector, but somehow place those words very large so students can see them. Even better if we can kind of put a word with maybe the definition, or put a word with a little symbol or a visual of what that word looks like. It depends on what grade level we're at, but at least put the words big up front so everyone can see them, and then refer to them throughout different instruction. Refer back to them and point to the wall and say, hey, we're talking about area today. Hey, we're talking about measurement. We're talking about cubic meters. Whatever that different vocabulary term or idea is, referring to that back and forth, and just continually going to that. And then also asking students, hey, when you turn and talk to your partner, I want you to use these words. I want to challenge you to use those words. Or maybe a student just answered a question and saying, okay, they answered that really well, or here's an answer. Who can build on that? Who can build on what Jimmy just said using one of the words from the wall? And really trying to get students to refer to that wall. And you're going to find the more that you actively refer to that word wall of, again, the explicit language that you're looking for today for this lesson, or this week or this month for this lesson, the more we refer to that, the more students are going to make that their own language. Now, sometimes people hear that and they say, well, I'll put every word up on the wall. And I'm not going to lie to you, I had a classroom like that for a while, and I found out it wasn't really as productive as I wanted to. We really want to target some specific words, put the words up there, make it a live word wall, and then move on to other words as the year continues. So definitely that live word wall that is referred to both by you and by students is a huge helper for all students to build those vocabulary skills. The second thing that we kind of recommend is thinking about how do we help students to begin kind of using the words and using the vocabulary, increasing the vocabulary in classroom, and increasing, again, the discourse we have, is using sentence starters or sentence stems and saying things like, okay, I want everyone to split up into partners, partner A, partner B. Partner A, I want you to say, the strategy I used was. And partner B, I want you to say, I agree with you because, or I disagree with you because, or I'm confused about this, or this is similar to me. Whatever your sentence stem is, whether you write it up on the board, or maybe you just kind of auditorily say it, kind of speak it out there, or both, even better. But helping students to say, hey, these are the sentence stems I want you to use. Again, there's a lot of research that says if we give students the words and the basis and the stems of the words of what we're looking for, they tend to be able to learn the math or the reading or any content we're talking about a little bit easier. We see those routines and procedures. So again, continuing to ask students, I want you to use these sentence stems, which again is just an easy to do scaffold to help students say, okay, I can say the first part of the sentence, I can say the second part of the sentence. I just need to put in a few words of my own, even from the active word wall, to kind of think about some of that thinking. So 2 real easy tweaks, thinking about, let's have that active word wall up front and center that we refer to. And then also thinking about maybe what are some of those sentence stems, about things we can be looking at, saying, hey, here's the words I want students to be saying. To start, students will be echolalic with those sentence stems, and it'll kind of sound a little funny, but as the year continues on, you're going to begin to see that's going to work into their vocabulary, and that's something that you did. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Hopefully that kind of helps you to get your students to talk more We really want students to talk more, all students to talk more, because the more they talk, the more they internalize and make sense of the world around them. All right, hopefully that helps out everyone. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you later.